Hello, and welcome to Deepto Television's brand new show, Aarong Dairy presents Bits and Bites. I'm your host and chef, Kishwar Chowdhury. You might know me and have followed my recipes, seen me cook, কিন্তু আমি সবসময় রান্নাঘরে একা থাকি. This show is very special to me because I get to invite some incredible personalities, movers and shakers across Bangladesh to join me in my kitchen. তো বেশি দেরি না করে আমরা আজকের guestদেরকে introduce করি. My first guest today is an absolute icon in Bangladesh's entertainment industry. Whether it's film, theatre or television, my first guest has been a veteran and an icon and paved the way for many people to come after her. Joining her is her son, who again wears many hats, and you've seen him grace your screens and has even won a national award for his acting prowess. So without much further ado, let me introduce to you Sara Zaker and Iresh Zaker. Hello. Sara, lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you too. Iresh.
Hi.
Welcome. My couch, my kitchen, not to my kitchen yet. Right now, just to my couch. You've spent a lot of time on film sets, not only in theatre, not only on television and film, but also as a producer. So this must feel like a very, sort of bread and butter to you. Tell us a little bit about some of your favorite projects and where your heart lies.
My heart lies with the theatre, but this is a very familiar, Siddiqa Kabir's recipe was my first.
Who is the OG, the original. Amra Bangalira jaira baire thaki, and this is a conversation I have with my friends in Australia, the UK, North America, shop jagay. Was the effect of Sisimpur? Tell us a little bit about Sisimpur.
তখনও তো সিসিমপুর নামটা হয়নি, Sesame Street. So we had pitched for it, and when we got it, we were doing a campaign in Afghanistan, and we got the news that we have been awarded this Sesame Street in Bangladesh. And then it started by, it started with a group of writers, and then the executive producer, and then we have to pick the name. And আমরা নিজেরাই হালুম, তারপরে শিকু, মানে শেয়াল, সে যে একটা এন্ডিয়ারিং ক্যারেক্টার হতে পারে, সেটাও একটা অনেক কথাবার্তা হলো। তারপরে ইকরি, টুকটুকি। আর যারা বাইরে থাকে এবং বাচ্চাদেরকে বাংলা শেখাতে চায়, অনেক সিডিজ, এবং তখনও ইউটিউবে আমরা আসিনি। তো ওটা একটা আমার একটা সেন্স অফ প্রাইড। আমার একজন বন্ধু আছে ফেরদৌস, ওর নাতনি পুরা একদিকে পুরা সুইডিশ বলছে আর অন্যদিকে পুরা বাংলা বলছে, এবং সম্পূর্ণটা সিসিমপুর দেখে শেখে।
Iresh, you have grown up as the son of two massive powerhouses, two massive legends, and you have consequently become such a driven person. But what was the journey like growing up in this household?
The great part of growing up with them, মানে বাবা মার সাথে ওই পরিবারে বড় হওয়া, is that they never made art look tiresome or esoteric. Didn't make it look like সবসময় মনে হতো যে এই জিনিসটা করাটা খুব মজার, আনন্দের, এবং এটা the reason why I had the confidence to start at 30 was when I was literally 10-15 years behind my colleagues who had all started their career or started their path towards an acting career in their teens or their 20s. It's because they didn't make it seem intimidating. For me, it wasn't an intimidating environment. I thought that if you put in your work and if you have the confidence and hopefully the talent, then it's a fun place to be.
Yeah, and I think something I was recently re-watching, like my whole family was re-watching roles that your father played in. I think we were watching Bohu Brihi. And there was this scene where Ali Zaker was in a room and someone was peering through a keyhole, and I think he squirted ink onto their face. So everyone who was walking away with a black eye. And you look at the comic timing of that, and you look at the filming and the sets, and I think that transcends into across the globe when you look at the Western films or even television made in the 90s and the 80s and 90s films in India as well. Was there a sense of spontaneity and what can I say, fluidness that we're missing now in these very, very structured shows?
Absolutely not. I think it's just the opposite. ওই সময় মানে, Humayun Ahmed himself was a genius.
Yeah.
He was a generational genius, a generational talent. And he used to write 13 to 26 episodes a year, which is fair play, which is, I think, which is just about the kind of output that you can expect at a very high level. The way Humayun Ahmed wrote his script, the dialogues were written, the beats were ekdom perfectly honed. যে সময়টা আমাদের লেখকদের নাই।
When you were doing a directorial course, ওই সময় কয়জন ছিল যে এই জিনিসটা করতো বা চিন্তা করতো যে apart from outside media studies that I'm going to specifically study this to be the best in my field, to go and be a director, and you've produced, you've acted, like to pursue your passion, but not just to pursue your passion out of practice, আর ক্যামেরার সামনে আসছি হয়ে যাচ্ছে, but to actually go and read about it and study the art of it. That is very inspirational, and I think that's a huge message for the next generation.
Ma has this amazing capability and concentration of setting that brick, each brick, even if she's not trying to build a massive building. So with creative writing, I don't think she fancies becoming a novelist. But তার মানে এই না যে she's taking this free course, তার মানে এই না যে একদিন করলো না. She's there. আমরা
Now they've started charging me, by the way.
I think you can afford it, so it's not a problem. Go for it. প্রত্যেকটা কাজ যেটা করবো সেটা ঠিকভাবে করবো. মানে এই প্র্যাকটিসটা, I think that's probably the thing about I most admire about her.
I think in my industry the comparison is I see a lot of food that's Instagrammable, but খেতে হয়তো ভালো না.
আমাদের কাচ্চি বিরিয়ানি আমার মনে হয় is much more of a globally acceptable food than Hyderabadi biryani, which is actually a little bit more spicy.
Correct.
Kachi biryani has less spice, more potatoes, and who doesn't like potatoes and meat and rice together? What do you think, how can we position ourselves better globally?
I think what was missing and what I found after my journey on MasterChef was I was receiving hundreds, sometimes thousands of letters over a week talking about reclaiming our identity. I think what it was people didn't have enough faith in the idea যে আমরা যদি বাংলাদেশি খাবার বানাই. But even when I was on MasterChef, I saw a lot of the reaction, and mind you, I shot this in 2020 and everyone was watching in 2021. So the reaction was, finally je panta bhat সাহস কোথায় পেলাম? আমার কাছে যেটা মনে হয়েছিল যে this is the best food that the judges would never have tasted. This is food I believe in. আমার এটা নিয়ে কোনোদিন সাহস লাগে নাই করতে, because maybe I was a little bit blind by this, but আমি যে বাসার খাবার, I was presenting that in a way that I thought was attractive, looked good, was competition level ready.
How much do you think we can do fusion with Bengali ingredients?
I think so. I really don't like the word fusion. I think it's like something that means that it's quite confused. What I do is I sort of tell my authentic story on a plate. I'm an Australian with Bengali heritage. So for me, using Australian native ingredients, but also using very rare, unheard of Bangladeshi native ingredients, and bringing that together is how it works on the plate. What story are we telling, And a lot of that is about seasonality, locality, but the heritage of these dishes. And not everything has to be fine dining, not everything has to be fancy. When I make a kashi rezala, I want it to taste just like an authentic kashi rezala. I don't want to mess with that. When you're talking about fusion, I think what we're talking about is just using techniques and chef skills to elevate dishes.
Cultures,
But authentically at the heart of the dish, we're using duck, that we eat here in winter, and it's a fattier sort of poultry, and then we're mixing it with something that's sweet and spicy and that cuts the fat. So I think it's looking more technically at dishes and thinking, আমাদের দেশে কি আছে jeta would layer well together. How can we do an interesting mix? About a dish I made for our PM. So I wanted to work with that produce. And then we did it sort of on this, sort of like a potato pave. So we had like a milfoil made of potato. So it's like 1,000-layer potato. We used a mustard oil emulsion. So shosher tel diye, we made like this emulsion. So we were having ki ilish, tarpor amra bogurar notun alu, shosher teler emulsion. Okhane we used like a pate, but we made it out of prawn and green beans. So bean bharta chingri or bean bhartar moton onekta, but we obviously made a much more smoother, refined version, and then we topped it off with some mustard leaves and some caviar.
Did the PM enjoy it?
Did she enjoy it? I think she enjoyed it. She said she enjoyed it.
Oh, she's very encouraging of people who are.
I want to have a lot of fun in the kitchen. Ekটু মজা করব. We're going to get our hands dirty, and hopefully this is something that your grandchildren and your child and niece might enjoy doing together as a family. So let's step into my kitchen. So Iresh, Sarapa, I'm going to teach you a recipe, like I have to all of my guests, that hopefully you keep in your culinary kit and you bring out at any time. It could be with your kids, it could be on a Sunday with your spouse. I think cooking together brings a lot of joy, and I hope this is something you take home. So this is my yogurt flatbread. So today we're going to make pizzas from it.
Nice.
But this, if you just brush it with some ghee and put kilonji, like kalo jeera, it's a really good naan, which is an onion seed. And we know, Iresh, you love onions.
Yes, I do. I love raw onions.
Love raw onions. But I think this is very versatile. You can use it with Middle Eastern food. We can make pizzas. So I love this dough, and it's something I keep in my kit. So I'm going to teach you this dough. So Iresh, this is the measurements. There's 1 cup measure here. There are 2 cups of flour.
All right.
Mils of flour.
দুটাই তো না?
Ha. And then it's half a cup of yogurt. And Sarapa, I will get you to activate the yeast. So আমার এখানে 15 grams এর মতন I have yeast. So the best way to activate yeast is to use warm water. তো এটা আমরা রেখে দেবো এখানে। Sugar.
Sugar.
I just do a pinch of sugar. Sugar actually activates the yeast.
The yeast.
Yeah. And so, 10 minutes, can you see how you've got bubbles? That means that the yeast is activated. And you can feel it's kind of warm. So that's what is going to be. 15 grams of dry yeast. So, ekhane the only other thing I'm going to add is a tiny splash of olive oil. And a pinch of salt. Bas. That's literally how easy this dough is. And because of the yogurt, doitar jonno, we're going to get a really nice sour. Okay, so you can turn that on slowly. Yep. By like 50, which means that the gluten has been activated. Headlines. So when I turn this off, the dough hook should pull up the bread, and we're looking for that beautiful elasticity.
Oh, wow.
See? So for a fairly wet dough. Eta, we take off a good bread maker. I'm gonna put some flour here. As you can see, we're gonna just turn it out onto butter jonno. We're going to put it into itself.
You first tell me how you're doing.
While we're adding flour. So it's just smoothing it up.
Oh, naki. I remember
Add flour. You know,
Yeah.
এখন কি করব বলো?
এখন we're
Kishwar.
gonna aste kore we're gonna put it in here.
And then allow it to rise.
Yeah, we're gonna cover it and let it rise. So, dota 20 minute rest korlo. And so we're left with something like this. Again, we're going to take a little flour. Iresh, this time you are going to roll this out for our pizza pan.
This is going to be horrible.
A very slow process. We don't try and push it to do something it doesn't want to do. It's getting very philosophical.
I know. And it's all philosophy.
Opposite of a massage.
It's the opposite of a massage. So Sara আমরা কি করব এখন? And stops it from pushing back. Iresh, you might want to do some of those. So we don't want a thin crust. What we want is to push out this area. So, pizza dough is there. We perforated it just to give it a nice, so just to make sure it's cooked all the way through. I'm going to go a little extra mile and pat this down to give it a nice round crust.
এই ফুটোগুলো করাতে কি the air is allowed to go in or something?
Yeah, so it bakes evenly. And also we want the sauce to get in. That's going to give us a very nice round fluffy crust. So while we're doing this, that's some oregano. Feel free to sprinkle it on. What were some things that surprised you, shocked you, but you were genuinely very proud of?
Yeah, I got a national honor, which I really, truly treasure because I got it not for sis import or in television production or, any of the advertising work. I got it for theater.
Yeah.
So it's ekushe padok peche. So that is something I treasure the most.
Yeah.
It is like almost tragically interesting award that she's got. The Munir Chaudhary Award is another very big award for theater. And Ma got it on the day Baba died.
It's quite a big award.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the biggest honors in the country. And it was like if there's any further proof needed that Baba always overshadowed Ma. It's like he managed to die the very day that she got this.
Feel free to chuck everything on. This is the fun moment.
So basically,
I would actually just
love it.
It's a favorite game actually, the pizza maker. Right, this game on.
We'll leave the whole mushroom out. One wasn't cut. Yeah. Oh, there's a pizza game. This is the live pizza game.
This is the live pizza game.
Just tell her. So this is what you've been playing. This is the live action version.
She's gonna be so upset. I'm not gonna tell her. I'm not gonna tell her.
দাদির সাথে তুমি
If I did this with Dadi and not her,
এটা এখন আমি ওভেনে দিব 20 থেকে 25 মিনিটের মতন লাগবে at about 200 degrees. So you want a really hot oven.
So you preheat it to 200 degrees?
Pizzate সবসময় শেষে I like to add fresh ingredients as well. I think it takes it to the next level and it gives it different textures, but it also gives it different temperatures. So herb jamon, this is basil. I like to add it fresh to the end of pizza. And then this is like I usually have some smoked meats. I think it
rocket goes really good.
Rocket, and then we have some smoked chicken. Rocket is the best thing to put on pizza with some olive oil. And I have some, this is Aarong's cheese spread for pizza. It's literally a pizza cheese spread.
It's actually very good.
Is it? Have you tried this?
You can just eat it plain with bread.
Amazing.
Rutir sathe.
I think Iresh, we have a dinner party coming. Jekhane amra breader sathe Aarong'er cheese spread, tomato sauce, achar,
Yogurt.
Mozzarella, yeah. So we use the Aarong mozzarella for this pizza. So I like to add a little bit of cream cheese to the end. I'll just use the other spoon as well. Sort of in dollops. In lieu of ingredients, যেগুলো আমরা usually শেষে বাইরে দিই. So বাইরে কি we use like your fresh mozzarella or your, like a cream cheese or a brie camembert. We like to add that at the end of the pizza. It gives it a nice texture. So feel free to put some smoked meat. And I'm going to rip some of this up. And the next thing I'm going to do is rip up some fresh basil. Feel free to go hard on the chili oil, depending on how much chili you like.
My side will have more than mine.
I will have some herb oil. Herb oil we can make with dhone pata root, which works. Okay, so we have a very colorful pizza. Shesh.
Good.
I think it was fairly easy to assemble and make and replicate. Chalo amra eta ekhon
Let's eat.
khai. How about the photography competition winner?
I'm just dying to eat this.
That was AI generated.
No, so that's another episode of conversation, because I think AI actually is a different threat to human art and extension. You cannot, so AI stuff, I don't think you can sort of comes into the human endeavor. You have to treat it as a different sort of plane of existence. So ota to onno jinish.
Very nice.
Yeah.
No good.
I'm so glad. মাঝে মাঝে কমপ্লিকেটেড কিছু না হলেও যখন আমার বাচ্চারা স্পেশালি উইকেন্ডে হয়তো আমরা এরকম একটা ডো বানালাম, তারা একটু পিৎজা বানালো, আমি নান বানালাম, তারা এটা নিয়ে খুশি হয়ে খায় যে তারা নিজেরা বানাইছে, because they were involved. And I think something like this yogurt dough, you can do a numerous amount of things. So everyone gets to make their own pizza, put it in the oven, shobai boshe khelam.
I have one thing that I hate on pizza.
Don't say anchovies.
You'll probably would guess it. It's not anchovies. It's
Pineapple?
Yes.
Mystery.
Pineapple in pizza are
Sacrilegious?
are china badam in shingara.
No. Yeah.
এই দুইটা জিনিস চীনা বাদামটা তাও নেওয়া যায় সিঙ্গারা can mask the flavor with kacha piyaz. But there's nothing you can do about pineapple on pizza other than picking it up.
Picking it out. Oh, no.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. I think I've grown to like it, but it's a very Aussie thing. I think in Australia it's like a cracked egg. Like the machkhane ekta kacha din diye you bake it. So egg, pineapple, it's almost like a breakfast pizza.
খুব ভালো হচ্ছে pizza.
Thank you so much, Sarapa, for coming on this show, but also just taking that time, sharing, I guess, a piece of yourself. It really meant a lot to me, and I've watched you for years and years and years, and I'm glad that we finally got to share a meal and cook a meal together. Jeta amar kache it means a lot to me.
It's amazing that I could be in a show with you.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're also Sriya's friend, and of course,
Yes.
you're the MasterChef.
No, thank you so much. And Iresh, I'm always very, very excited to see what you do next, all your projects. I've just absolutely loved connecting to you. I think there's so many, our conversations in the green room and in front of the camera and here on the table. There's a lot of relatable things you said about parenting that really resonates with me. So thanks for taking the time to be here.
I'm just going to have this.
Oh, the crust! We're going to cut all the crust and just send you a box of crust one day. While you're...
with a tub of Vegemite.
I love it that you're like, I need to eat that crust. I love it. And Vegemite. But ketchup, achar, all the other things we're going to eat with white bread. While you're eating, I have to say, we have a little gift here. We have a little gift card from Aarong.
Oh, nice.
And one for you too.
I'm a great fan of Aarong.
Oh, fantastic. And Aarong Dairy has a starter kit for you for your own culinary adventures. So you can go home and start your cooking journey.
Okay. Please have it sent to my car.
This will all be sent to you with pizza and pizza crust and everything else.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much for coming.
It was really nice.
I really enjoyed my time with you.
I'm here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Iresh.
And lovely
Take
meeting
care.
you.
Cooking adventures with you soon. You can teach me some photography.
Yeah, that I can do, probably.
and the pizza.
Yes, this will be sent to your house. We'll send pizza and some pizza crust to you.
Oh, great.
So
Thank you.
see you very soon, inshallah.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Inshallah. Yeah.
অনেক গল্প হলো, আড্ডা হলো, and I had so much fun with this mother-son duo. Next time আমার সাথে আসবে আরো exciting guest and we're going to have more adventures in my kitchen. See you soon.